How do you introduce yourself? You say your name, sure, but what about pronouns? He, she, they, them? Today's conversation is all about gender identities and sexual orientations. Everyone wants to be heard, seen, and valued, but are members of the LGBTQ plus community always treated as such? It's a situation. Let's talk about it. Buckle up, buttercups. The conversation starts right now.
Situations and conversations with Renee. Situations and conversations with Renee. Real situations, real conversations. Empowering the community leads to elevation. Entertainment and education, no better time than that.
Hey, welcome to Situations and Conversations. I am your host, Renee. So happy that you are joining us because we are going to have a very important conversation about identity and how we can create a more inclusive environment for everyone. Today, I am honored to be talking with Ilani Estrella and Jazmine Harrison, who both have a lot to share on the topic and how their identities help shape who they are. Welcome to the show. No, thank you guys for being here and agreeing to come on and get personal and raw and help some of us, even though we know it's not your jobs, to educate the masses about identities and pronouns and all the things, but I'm appreciative that you're here because I have a lot to learn and I'm sure I'm not the only one. And so sharing is caring. So I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you identify and whether or not we use pronouns right off the top, because that already has me so confused. Ilani, why don't we start with you?
Well, hi everyone. I am a Mexican girl, 23-year-old girl. Now, it's pretty hard growing up in a Mexican household where things like this aren't accepted. And, I was the first in the family to ever come out as a little gay boy to now a grown trans woman. Yeah. And, well, pronouns don't have to be used if you know what you're seeing.
Okay.
But if people, obviously my voice does give it away most of the time. So when people ask, it's she, her.
Okay, and do people just come right out and like, so if you're saying, hi, I'm Ilani, and your voice, as you say, gives it away, I don't know, my voice is pretty much as deep as yours, so I don't know. But when they ask, how does that make you feel? Like, is that okay to ask, or what should we do?
I feel like it is okay, just so that they aren't referencing me as he, him.
Well, by looking at you, I would never assume that, but then again, like, this is a whole new world for a lot of folks, and it's challenging to embrace, right? So like, if I automatically looked at you, I would definitely want to say her, but if you think you know, and then you mess up, what happens?
Then you probably will get corrected.
Get read? Yeah.
Not read to filth. You'll probably get corrected,
Right.
but in an educative way.
Okay, so there is some grace.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, Jazz, what about you? I can call you Jazz?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
I would say, so for me, especially growing up in Portland and being a Black bisexual woman, my experience was very different. I feel like for me, it took me way longer to come out.
Okay.
And when I did come out, my feelings were very like all over the place because I feel like in the Black community, it's like, we don't do that. And, it was just like, I wasn't embarrassed, but I just didn't want to feel shamed for it.
Right.
And so it kind of took me a while to tell all of my family. And
When did you?
Ooh, I would say like 21, 22, I like officially.
Well, you look about 18, so that's Benjamin backwards.
Thank you.
Right now.
I'm 28, so
okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But 21, 22, I came out as bi. And my great grandma was like, hell no.
Okay.
You're not doing that. My mom was, of course, more like, okay, whatever you say. So I feel like I had mixed emotions about it. But I know how our community can be about certain things. And so for me, I already knew what to expect, and I was like, this is me, and whether I'm with a man or a woman, I want to feel respected and heard, especially by my family.
Right.
So I've just been like, take it or leave it. You know what I mean? Because I have to live my life.
Right.
It's been hard, but.
So let's talk a little bit about families. I mean, culturally, very different, right?
Yeah.
Cultural norms. So Ilani, when you were the little Mexican boy coming out as gay, like, what was that like for you?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't the one that revealed it to my family. It was it was my school principal.
What?
Yeah, it all happened because I was getting bullied in middle school, and you know, I got tempted to get into a fight. So it was the next day when I got suspended. It was more like, well, your son's gay. He got in a fight, and now he's getting suspended.
And what did your family say?
Well, it was over the phone, so I couldn't see my mom's reaction, but it wasn't like crazy when I got home.
Okay.
But
Well, here's the thing. Parents and family members, we have an inkling. Whether we've said anything or
Yes.
not is another story. I have a set of twin nephews. They are fraternal twins. They don't look anything alike. One has come out as gay, and the other one is like uber masculine, right? Like they couldn't be more different in that way. But I remember being Auntie Trey, and Elijah was maybe like, I don't know, 3 or 4. And he would jump in the room when I would go visit and come into the guest room and, you know, be wanting to watch all the things that I was like, you're interested in that? Like Powder Puff Girls or whatever it was, you know? But my sister and her husband never said a word. And I was so nervous to ever even say anything about it. And I think we do ourselves a disservice by not like having these conversations, because it puts a lot of pressure. Because I think kids know, like kids are like, don't you see me?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like,
Yes.
are you gonna make me come out and say it? So is that an experience that you've had too?
Yes, because I felt like my mom knew, but I was like, no, mom, you know I dated that boy, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, girl. And then I was like, so, mom, that girl who was coming over was not my friend. But I felt like she knew, but I felt like she wanted to allow me the space to tell her.
Yeah.
But I was just like, had you just called me out on it, we would have been way past this. But, you know, I do appreciate her giving me that space to kind of tell her on my own time, because I was still figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to call it at that point. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't
Right,
know.
like the language
I
or
didn't
what, you
know.
just knew how you felt.
Exactly. I just knew that I had feelings for a woman that wasn't just like, oh, she's pretty. It's like, no, I like her.
Right.
And when I did feel that, I called my sister crying like, oh my gosh, I really like this girl. What do I do? She's like, girl, why are you crying? Like, it's okay. Like, you know.
It was scary.
Yeah, it was very scary for me. And then knowing how my family is, I was like, oof, we finna open this can of worms. You know what I mean?
It's
But,
going down.
Yeah, I felt
right?
like that. And then
Yeah.
when my great grandma see me with the girl, she was like, hell no. But I was like, Granny, that's my friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, things are way different now.
I was gonna say, do you feel like times are hopefully changing for the better now with acceptance and being seen, and like, what do you think about that, Ilani?
They are. Like now, I just feel like going out into reality, things are changing. In the real world, a lot of the times I do see on social media that the newer parents are like, they know that this world or our community is so open that now that they're not wanting that for their kids. But in all honesty, we're born this way.
Yeah.
We can't change it. For
That is a
whatever.
theme that I have heard and been told from the beginning. I have my best friend from high school. He came out as gay, but now he is in the process of beginning his transition. And he did say he's still he, so I'm right about this, right, Sean? Not gonna be mad at me when this airs. But you know, that he's beginning this transition to be a woman, because he feels like he was always a girl, but he didn't have the language back then, right? Or see anybody who was, you know, actually like transitioning and making it work. You know, so for him it was like, well, I guess I must be gay then, because I definitely don't feel like a boy, like, you know. So that's a whole nother part that I really want to talk to you about, Ilani, because I have so many questions. And I know I'm not the only one. And you know what? How about this is a good time to maybe take a little break. How about we take a little break and we come back and we continue this conversation about sexual identity and everybody just wanting to be heard, valued, accepted, as we all should. But we're going to get into this transgender conversation because it's a big one. So hang on, more situations and conversations on the way.
Special thanks to our presenting sponsor, Oregon Health Authority, helping people and communities achieve optimum physical, mental, and social well-being.
All right, welcome back to Situations and Conversations. I'm Renee here with Jazmine and Ilani. We were just talking about transgender, and you are transgender. Am I even saying that right? Is that, okay, good. Because at first I think I was saying, oh, somebody's a transgendered person, or they are, and I was told, just transgender, just leave it at that. Okay, so Ilani, when and how did you come to the realization that you wanted to make this transition?
It was at a pageant. I'm a big pageant fanatic. So it was at a pageant that I went to back in 2016.
Okay.
And I saw this beautiful woman on stage performing and doing a number. And I asked myself, why is she up there doing what a drag queen does? Mm. And then later I did my research and I got informed that she was a trans woman.
Okay.
So I was like, but how is that possible? Because like I said, me growing in a Mexican household, nobody was teaching me that. That wasn't a topic of conversation in middle school or elementary school.
Right, and it certainly wasn't out there in the public like that at the time either.
So I had to do my own research. I did my research on what being transgender and transsexual was, because it's in the same thing, but they are two different things.
What's the difference? Help me out.
Transsexual is the word, we don't use it as much, but that's when a trans woman has undergone every surgery needed to become a woman.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And then transgender is different?
It's just when a born male identifies as woman or is now in the process of becoming a woman, or a female, born female, is now in the transition of becoming a male.
So then when the transition is complete, is it then all transsexual, or is it all the...
Yes.
Okay. And how does that make you feel? This is the part that I always wonder about, because as someone who, you know, I'm ignorant and I'm trying to learn and I want to know and I want to be respectful in all the ways. And so sometimes, even doing this interview, I'm a little nervous because I don't want to say the wrong thing. How does it feel for you when people like keep getting it wrong, or, you know, people who you know and love and you know who love and care about you, but just still want to refer to you as he, or just because they knew you back when?
I honestly just ignore them until they get it right.
Like who you talking to?
Yeah.
Who you like, right? Okay.
It was not too long ago. For my sister's quinceañera, it's like the biggest thing we have. So a lot of family members came and they saw me in a beautiful dress, long hair, makeup, and everything, and they kept calling me by my dead name, and I was just walking by.
Is that what you? Okay, so so the old you is like dead and gone.
Yeah.
Dead name.
Mm-hmm. That's what we call
child, that like really just sent me like, that hit me. Because I think people then have to mourn, right? Then the loss of one person. And I mean, and maybe even if it's not a transgender, you know, like situation for you, like, do you feel like people had to mourn the idea of who they thought you were and who your people thought they were raising, and now it's like somebody different?
Yeah, because I feel like, you know, parents always want their kids to be traditional and get married and have kids. And I know that women in lesbian relationships have kids, but I think for my parents specifically, they would like to have their own biological grandkids. So I think that in that way, yes. But I am lucky enough to have people who are like, look, we're going to ride with you through it all, you know, like whatever that means, whatever that looks like. My mom specifically is definitely like riding for me, which I
Shout out to Erica.
Shout out to Erica.
I know your mom, and we just found that out behind the scenes. You came on the show. I had no idea that I knew your people. That's crazy.
So yeah, shout out to my mom for being supportive and like whatever that looks like, because I do date both men and women. So sometimes I'm with a woman and that's where my future is going, and then when I'm with a man, that's where it's going. So I feel like they kind of got to just...
Okay, I have to ask, before we run out of time, I have to ask about that, because some people will then be like, okay, Jazz is just out here doing whatever. Because if you're born this way, people automatically assume that you can only be attracted to one sex or one gender.
Yes, I get that all the time. It's like, but you said you only date girls, but now you're dating men again. I'm like, it's like you wear contacts and glasses. You alternate. Like,
you better shut up with that one, honey, because I get that.
You alternate though. You know, sometimes you wear contacts, sometimes you wear glasses, but either way, you could still wear both. Like,
and you still need to see.
Exactly.
You need them both.
Exactly.
Wait a minute, this is excellent. You need them both to see clearly.
Exactly.
Wow.
So for me, it's like, because I do wear contacts and glasses, and I get this a lot. So I'm like, look, it's like this, because I get tired of having to be like, I'm bi, I date men and women. It's not like, cause you know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't understand what you're not understanding.
So then whoever you're dating at the time, did they have to worry about you then also being attracted to anybody?
No.
Because it's hard enough.
That's another thing. That is another thing is like, do I have to worry about you staring at, like, no. If you're with like if you're in a monogamous relationship, you're with that person. Of course you're going to worry about people being attracted to other people in general, but I don't think you're even more worried. Like for me.
But come on, don't you think it's kind of reasonable for a partner to be like, okay, because for me, is it cisgender? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm trying.
You got it.
So for me, you know, I'm also attracted to only men, right?
Yeah.
So I'm with my man. If he hears I'm out with the girls, he's not, I mean, not that he'd trip either way, but he's really not tripping, right? But for you, if you hanging out with the guys or the girls and you're in a relationship, does the partner ever think like, I don't know what you may come back possibly attracted to or doing?
No, because I feel like also who I am though, I'm very good at making sure my partner knows like I'm into you. So you don't have to worry about man, woman. Like that's not an issue regardless, but I have had people be like, I don't want to date you because you're bi. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll take that because of that reason though.
Okay,
and
I
I'm
got
like,
you.
okay,
That makes sense.
You know, but
that makes sense to me. But speaking of dating, I have to ask, when you are, so as a trans woman, you like men, straight men?
Correct.
Okay. Do you tell them off the top if they don't already know? Or, because I've read some things where some hetero men have been surprised and then, you know, some things have popped off because of their reactions, right? What do you do?
When I'm out in the wild, as I like to say, or out in public, it is
wild out here.
You know, they see me as a woman until, like I said, my voice can give it away or it gives it away.
Yeah.
So there are times when if we're at the club, you don't get to hear exactly everything. We give each other our numbers, we talk, and then later I have to like ask, so you do remember that I'm the trans woman that you met? And then they're like, you're trans? So then it kind of like, it just blows off right there.
Okay.
But when it comes
if they're
to
not down with it.
Yes. Yeah. Or if they are, then, you know, we proceed to
then they're like, yeah, I remember you, and I'm with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Wow.
But when it comes to dating apps, I have to let it be known and put it on there that I am a trans woman because I don't want to start talking to this man and then later on something like that happens. We meet up and
I respect that. You know, 'cause some people feel like maybe you don't say nothing until I respect the say it off the top. Just give people their opportunity to continue or stop off of the truth. Right? And man, this has been amazing. Before I let you go, I know we're running out of time. Thomas, please forgive me. What would you say to somebody who is struggling with their identity like right now and how to either like come to terms with it or maybe even tell their family and friends about it? You first, Jazz.
Ooh, I would say live your truth. I feel like you only get one life to live and you have to live your own. And I feel like the people who love you and care about you are going to fall in line at some point. And if they don't, they're not for you. You know, I feel like people get caught up in trying to please other people. When you dead, you're not thinking about that. I mean, like, you're not thinking about nothing when you dead. But you know what I mean, though. Like,
but when it's over, it's over.
Exactly.
And we got to ride this life till the wheels fall off.
Yeah, you don't want to die with regret. So that's what I would say.
Okay, Ilani.
to me, I would have to say by starting off with talking to somebody you truly trust and letting them know before you do it to your family who might not be as accepting, so that when it comes to letting your family know, you have a backup person or somebody to reach out to for help. so that they can come to your rescue or support just in case anything can go wrong.
We all need our people, right? So find your tribe, test it out, and then go live your life. That's what I'm hearing.
Basically.
I love it. I love it. And I love y'all for being so open and honest and sharing. Thank you so much. And thank you for living your lives out loud, baby. That's what it's all about. Oh my goodness. What an amazing conversation. I told y'all to buckle up. And we're not done. Okay, more situations and conversations with Hey Trey coming up next. Don't go away.
Special thanks to our presenting sponsor, Oregon Health Authority, helping people and communities achieve optimum physical, mental, and social well-being.
My name's Yolanda Frazier. I am your elected president of our local NAACP Vancouver, Washington branch 1139. I'd like to just share with you a little bit about why you should join our local branch. First and foremost, the NAACP was founded in the early 1900s in the basement of Black churches to really suss out our communities and what we can do to stop racism and, most importantly, fight for our civil rights. I want you to know that as your president, it is of utmost importance. It is an imperative that you think about joining our branch. So thank you so much. And I want to say that you all should have a blessed day, not just today, but every day.
Conversations with Trey Renee. Situations and conversations with Trey Renee.
Hey, welcome back to Situations and Conversations with me, Trey Renee. It is now time for Hey Trey. This is where we discuss the juicy topics that you all want to talk about. Hot off the blogs. You ready for this? How do you feel about these recent trends in huge age gaps with celebrity couples? Is it odd? Is it none of our business? I don't know, but here to weigh in are my fabulous guests from the show today. I'm so glad I convinced you all to hang around and stay. We have Jazmine Harrison with us, and Ilani Estrella is also back. And okay, y'all, let's wait a minute, you looking a little wiggly in your chair, child.
Well, I'm finna expose myself a little bit, so I'm trying to brace myself because this topic is a little close to home.
Well, do tell.
Okay, let me start by saying, depending on how big the gap is, I'm for it. Not too big, but okay, let me bring my own
break it down,
experience.
child, because you looking
So, so I'm 28, and I was on dating apps at a period of time, and I began dating a 21-year-old. And it's big for me because I was like, hell no, that's too young for me. But I decided to give this woman a chance. Regretted it. But only because of like maturity and mentally we were in two different places, like great person, like no beef or anything. But I also feel like that's why you have to be careful, because you can be on two different pages and you could want something and they might not be on that page, or they're still learning and growing.
I was about to say, they haven't even experienced it yet.
They haven't even touched the grass that you done been past. You know what I mean? So I think for me, what I learned was no.
It's a no for you.
It's a no for me, just
Okay.
because of like where I am and where I was going. That person was not in that place, and it made it really, really hard. These other ones, these 55s and these 21-year-olds, and that's just too much for me, though.
What do you think?
I honestly would have to say, do what you want, but but like the gap being that crazy big, I don't think so. I did have experience one time where this guy said, I can show you the world. I thought I was living in Aladdin and the Jazmine fantasy, but the carpet went right back down.
Ooh, no, not the carpet came out right from underneath you, okay, while you flying high in the sky.
Yep, they said I can show you the world, and I believed it, and it wasn't what I expected.
Okay, yeah, because I think that's what's, well, I don't know. There are a lot of these celebrities, they're out here doing the most. I mean, I look at Cher and her man. That's a big age. I think that's about 50-year age difference.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know what? Part of me is like, you know what, Cher, with your 70-plus-year-old self, you better go ahead and get that youngin'. But the other part of me is like, what are
is
you
his
over there?
intention?
Like what's really going on? Like, how much in common? Maybe they do. I don't know. Celebrity world is different than the real world, right? So like the experiences and stuff are different. But like even there's somebody out here, one of these influencer celebrity types, Drea is out here having a baby right now by a man who I believe is either as old as her son or even younger or some nonsense like that. What do y'all think about something? How do you bring that baby home, and I mean baby, home and explain that?
That's a no. I just, simply because the same age as your child, that's
weird.
You know, that's very weird. I just feel like your child is that age. So
Are you babysitting?
yeah, like what are you
Yeah,
doing?
and what is that child supposed to? That's my what?
Yeah,
my mom. I can't even get into the psyche of having to look at my mom or my dad being with somebody my age.
Mom, you better not.
Or even younger. Like that's just, I don't know what that is.
No.
I really don't know what that is. And I'm a mental health professional by license, and I still don't know what that is. But then you have some who are like making it do what it do. I will tell you, like my grandparents, they had a big age difference. They were 20 years apart. I think that's pretty big. And it was also a different time. Some people feel like he might have been too old and, she was too young, but that was like forever ago. But at the same time, they were in love. They made that work. I had no idea until I was grown that there was even a big age difference. And that part of me wants to say, hey, to each his own. Love is love. Like you find it wherever you find it. I guess at whatever age you find it. I don't know. Look at the people. We got some audience members back here looking like, I don't know, trying to put their head down like, don't call on me because this is too much. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm 50, right? No lie. Just the other day, I'm at a restaurant and the young man is the server. And he's very handsome. He comes and slides the bill and his number. And I was like, wait a minute. I was taken aback and I was very flattered at first. Yeah. I went and talked to him. I said, so what is this, young man? What are you? And he was like, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at me. We could be looking good together. And then I thought, this is cute. Yeah. But that's about all that it could ever be. Because I have a younger brother. And in my mind, I'm thinking, you're younger than him. And I changed his diapers. Yeah. No, sir. No, ma'am. No way. I love that you all are bringing all of these topics to us, and we love to have these conversations here at the Hey Trey table. So please keep those coming. Use the QR codes on your screen to get at us. And thankfully, we'll be back next week, God willing, with another episode of Situations and Conversations. Thank you so much, Ilani. Thank you so much, Jazz. And thank you all for hanging out with us today. And make sure that you take excellent care of yourselves, because that's the only way you can take care of anybody else, which is our mission. And when you think me, think we. When you think you, think two. We'll see you next time.
Special thanks to our presenting sponsor, Oregon Health Authority, helping people and communities achieve optimum physical, mental, and social well-being. And thanks to Tabiba Styles for hair and makeup glam, as well as Adorn Boutiques for my wardrobe. Situations and Conversations with Trey Renee is shot on location at Louisa Event Space in Portland. Situations and Conversations with Trey Renee is a Bum Juice Entertainment production in conjunction with Thomas Chung Films, Bloom Beauty Collective, and Allen & Unger Consulting Group. Situations and Conversations with Trey Renee. Watch Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus.